I believe a successful institute or any organization must start with the question, why? After that, what comes along and how we do things and what we do things. But if they do not have a clarity of why for their inception, then they lose the sight of their mission and vision. So when I think back and think, what was Al-Hamra's why? Way back in 1994, a group of community members got together and they looked at the children of this community and they said, that's our why. And what we want to accomplish is give them a good, solid foundation of Islamic education and yet make them successful growing up in this society as Americans.
Al-Hamra Academy was established in 1994, and we started out as a really small school. If we look at where Al-Hamra is right now, we can see how much it has expanded and grown in these last few years. Al-Hamra now has its own campus and 2 buildings to show for the growing enrollment that we have over here.
Al-Hamra became the leading school, Islamic school in the entire region.
My affiliation with Al-Hamra Academy began as a student in the 1990s. I was among the first classes to start when the school was established in 1994. I returned to the school almost 15 years later as an educator, as a teacher, and I was completely surprised by how much the academy had evolved over time.
Teaching at Al-Hamra tends to be highly qualified and specialized, either through specialization in their own field or through specialization in the very art of teaching. So most teachers here have either been at it for a long time or have had education in teaching, in the practice of education itself, or have just separately specialized in their own fields.
Since joining Al-Hamra Academy in 1998, our student body has definitely increased, and the school has just flourished in so many ways. Our first graduating class was in the year 2000, so since then we have graduated. Now this year will be our 23rd class that will be graduating.
Our youngest students are just a few weeks old as infants. We also support toddlers at Al-Hamra Academy, a very robust program in our preschool and pre-kindergarten, all the way through elementary grades, and finally our students graduate at the end of 8th grade when middle school finishes off. We make sure that our students' journey, all the way from the very beginning till the very end, prepares them for being active and productive members of the larger community. We do this by making sure that a strong Muslim American identity is inculcated within our students. They undergo a religion curriculum every single day at the school. They're introduced to Arabic all the way from kindergarten to 4th grade. After that, they have the choice of whether they take Spanish or Arabic as a world language moving forward.
One of the things I wanted for my children's school was something that I did not have when I was growing up, which was an Islamic environment, or an environment where there were many Muslims, and also where they had some Muslim teachers. And so one of the reasons why I chose Al-Hamra over a public school was to give them that environment, to give them some of the cultural content that you get that's a little bit more intangible when you're being taught in an Islamic environment, or an environment that has a lot of Islamic influence. And I think that's something that's very important.
Al-Hamra has instilled within me my Islamic values, the role I play as a Muslim, and the ability to reflect on my daily decisions.
We wanted our children to be raised with a good Muslim American identity, and we truly believe that Al-Hamra served both purposes in both establishing a strong Muslim foundation as well as establishing a strong Muslim American identity.
So I moved my kids from a well-funded public school district, which was number 5 in the nation, to Al-Hamra, because at the end of the day, what my kids have here can't be replicated. They have a strong identity and foundation because everything around them gives them a sense of belonging.
One of the promises I made to myself when I started teaching at Al-Hamra was that if I could help just one Muslim kid be proud of who they are and not be shy about standing up for what they believe in and having that strong Muslim identity, then I consider myself to be successful.
Al-Hamra parents are part of the vision and mission of the school. We have really worked hard to make sure that all stakeholders are engaged, participating together, discussing what the vision of the school is and how best it can move forward to meet the needs of our students.
The value of giving back to me means not only using my time to help my community, but it also gives me a platform to really make a change on a personal level.
We are teaching Quran for the whole school from kindergarten to 8th grader.
The rigors of the Islamic education and learning about the history of religion and the application of religion to real life, those skills tend to carry over to other classes. So I don't think that we compromise anything by having an Islamic focus here. It seems like that only enhances the other classes, as do the core academic skills enhance the Islamic studies.
In terms of academics, we have a very heavy focus on making sure that we're following the Common Core curriculum. We follow the Massachusetts frameworks for the instruction of English language arts, for the instruction of math. We follow the next generation science standards and the Massachusetts frameworks for the instruction of social studies. I'm also really excited to share that Al-Hamra is the only Muslim school in New England that follows the frameworks for the instruction of computer science and visual arts.
One of the things that our kids are challenged by a lot is all the influences out there. And one of the ways we can combat that as teachers is teach them to be critical thinkers.
The instruction we provide our students is heavily centered around an experiential and project-driven approach. Students are able to perform science, not just read about it.
One thing we try to do as Muslims is to be responsible citizens and to be respectful, learning about sustainability, how not to misuse and abuse your environment, how to take care of our environment.
Al-Hamra students have participated in drama clubs. We've put on play performances. Our robotics teams are one of the top performing teams in the state of Massachusetts for the first Lego League.
Robotics is it's a very nice way for you to learn how to take a problem from the outside world and try to find a solution.
We have a very strong speech and debate team at Al-Hamra as well, where our students participate in tournaments during the entire season and bring home many awards. Many after-school clubs include calligraphy, art, STEM, cooking, gardening, you name it, we really do have it over here. Al-Hamra also provides its students instruction once a week in physical education and also once a week in martial arts. We are the only Islamic school in the area that has a full-time counselor on campus.
We had lockdown drills, which we have worked with the Shrewsbury Police Department directly, and also had them at the school here when we do the lockdown drills to make sure the school is safe.
In the 1994, we established as a small institute. The next big inflection point came in 2003 when we moved eventually to this campus. That was the sort of the first long-term vision of moving into a space that would give us the opportunity to continue to expand as the school grows. The next inflection points, as we were kind of standardizing our curriculum and making things better from the academic perspective, was the big accreditation by the NEASC in 2006. So that was another big inflection point for the academy. In 2017, another big inflection point came when we started implementing this STEAM curriculum. We kind of got external grants. NLM grant was one of the big ones. So then we started experiential learning, equity-based curriculum. And in the last 4 or 5 years, we have made leaps and bounds improvement in terms of bringing our academics and our social moral growth to a different level.
Our next big project would be to have our own gym facility.
The opportunity for us is to really expand, to enhance the services. One thing that, of course, as an academic institution, we are missing is an athletic facility. And we are also looking for additional classroom space to expand the opportunity for more students to enroll in the academy, but then also to have places like a computer lab, maker space, science lab, etc. But the challenge for there is financial. Currently, our bank loans are about $1.67 million, and our personal loans are about $579,000. In total, our financial liability is $2.249 million. This is something that we currently own as a debt, And if we were to build a gym, the approximate cost would be $2.2 million. That will bring our total liability to $4.35 million. If we can pay off our debts, our loans, then we have straight $155,000 a year that we can invest in our educators.
Al-Hamra is not an institution that stands alone by itself. It is an institution that has helped build the Muslim community in the New England area and requires your ongoing support and commitment into making this an even bigger reality.